It's July 23rd, and it's time to talk about the reality of the American political system. There's been a lot of talk over the years that Trump is a useful idiot for Putin. While it may be that Trump is an idiot, he and every president since Reagan have actually been the useful tools for the American elites. They have overseen the redistribution of wealth from the majority to the top 10%, to the point that presently the poorest 50% of Americans own 2.5% of American wealth. The middle 40% own 30% of the wealth, and the top 10% own 67.5% of the wealth. This extreme inequity has just been cemented to future generations by the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. And that has been Trump's primary mission. Everything else is distraction, deception, and desecration. $3.4 trillion to the wealthy, stolen from regular Americans, and because it is financed through debt, it's stolen from future Americans, their children, and their children's children. The distractions range from the rolling tariffs to military parades to investigations into former administrations, most of which are a joke. Just the right measure of red meat and crazy to entertain the MAGA base while they're being robbed of their pittance. And don't make any mistakes. The MAGA base is going to pay for it more than almost anybody. Deception is Trump's greatest strength. Not just lies, but sleight of hand, ignoring court rulings, flaunting lawlessness. Taxes will go up by 63% if the bill isn't passed. That's a farce. Only the criminal migrants will be deported. Tariffs are not taxes on American consumers. They are. Don't listen to Trump. Don't believe a word he says, ever, about anything. Eggs are cheaper than ever. Not true. Inflation is down. Not true. Employment is up. Not true. Gas is $1.98 a gallon. They're just straight lies, told by Trump and repeated by his corrupt cabinet and the right-wing blowhards. The lies being told are like an unmanned fire hose. There's no control and no limit to the chaos. But desecration is the cornerstone of Trump's game and is a multi-pronged attack. Create enemies and attack them. Break rules and blame your enemies. Get your followers to agree with your enemies list and your lawlessness, and once they agree to blame progressive ideas, the media, brown people, black people, immigrants, foreign countries, they will not turn on you, because if they do, they will have to admit that they were wrong, and that is not happening. You can ignore habeas corpus, deport legal immigrants, separate children from mothers, deport the husbands, wives, children, and parents of U.S. service members, create concentration camps in a Florida swamp, and celebrate that people will get eaten by alligators. Just let that sink in for a minute. White Christians celebrating the gruesome deaths of brown Christians in the mouths of prehistoric apex predators. That seems right. That seems reasonable, doesn't it? If you're a good white Christian. But if you have already agreed that following the Constitution is not important, that paying more for everything is not inflation, that losing health care will make people healthier, that coal is both clean and beautiful, then celebrating cruelty and having people, including American citizens, forcibly removed from their places of work by armed masked men, it's just one more baby step toward the abyss of a totalitarian state. And to cover the tracks of the criminality, you also have to desecrate the civil service, the military, the judiciary, the attorney general's offices at state and federal levels, the free media, universities, and the public education system. You do this so that the next administration has so much damage to repair just to keep the ship from sinking, that you and the rest of the snakes can slither away unscathed. It is a living scorched earth policy, and that is the start of the next talk.